Hey everyone, welcome back to MB's Hamsters, and today is going to be all about vet trips. So, a lot of people, when they get a hamster, they don't realize that they actually need money for a vet trip, but just like dogs and cats and all other animals, they have the ability to get sick, and it is very important that if your hamster gets sick, you should take them to a vet. So, a lot of people, they'll get a hamster and and then their hamster gets sick and they don't take them to the vet because they think it's too expensive, and the hamster just has to sit there and suffer, which is very mean to the hamster. It's cruel to just leave them there to die. That's not very nice. So, please have a emergency vet fund. So if your hamster breaks its leg or does something that you need to see the vet right away, please have a vet fund saved up so you can just take money from that and then put money back in once your hamster is healthy. With hamsters, going to the vet is very important, just like you wouldn't let a dog sit there and suffer if they broke their leg or if something happened to them. You should not do the same thing to your hamster. You shouldn't just leave them there to die. That's not very nice. So please have a vet fund saved up for emergency vet trips. And if you are not willing to take your hamster to the vet, please do not get a hamster. It is very important that you should take your hamster to the vet if they show any signs of illness. So signs that your hamster is sick would be wheezing or coughing, just very excessively, where it doesn't sound normal. If they're wheezing or coughing or doing something that it doesn't look good, please take them to the vet. Also, if they are sneezing a lot, hamsters do sneeze, obviously, but if they're sneezing like excessive amounts of time and they're sneezing and sneezing and sneezing, please take them to the vet because they could be sick. If they're losing their fur, like big chunks of their fur, and they are not older, and they're not an older hamster and they're losing their fur, there could be a sign of mites or something else, so please take them to the vet if they show any signs of fur loss. If your hamster is having diarrhea, then take them to the vet. That could be them, they could get sick, and that's obviously them saying that they're sick, so please take them to the vet if that happens. Obviously, if they break their leg, if they're bleeding, if they're bleeding anywhere, take them to the vet. If they break something, if they're wobbly, and they're falling over a lot, just anything that doesn't seem normal. Also, if they're losing a lot of weight really fast, that could also be your hamster is sick. So please take your hamster to the vet if they show any signs of illness, even if they are just acting differently and it was very random and you don't know what it is. It's better to be safe than sorry and go see a vet. So preparing for the vet, I usually take a carrier cage. I made a DIY bin cage for Angel that I don't use anymore, but that is a good example of a cheap travel cage. I just made basically a mini bin cage. 10-gallon tanks also work good. Smaller barred cages, though I don't really recommend a barred cage for traveling, you can still use that. And just anything that you can carry your hamster in that is safe. I'll leave an eye up in the corner for my DIY bin cage that I made for a travel cage. So yeah, also I have right here, I have the Habitrail Ovo that I actually use for Angel's travel cage. For Sugar, I use the same bin cage that I made in the video up in the eye corner. So that is yeah, you need a travel cage. If your vet is pretty far away, like over an hour, I would recommend putting in some source of water. Obviously don't put a water bottle in because it could leak and then you'll get water all over your cage. But cucumbers work great. Just put in a couple of cucumbers and they'll get all the water they need, and it won't spill everywhere. So just put that in if it is a pretty long trip. Also, maybe a bit of food so that they can eat before they go to the vets. Just because hamsters generally won't eat or drink after a very stressful situation. So make sure they are eating and drinking before you go to the vet so that they did have their water and food for the day. Try not to scare your hamster after they come home from the vet. They're most likely going to be a little bit jittery and not wanting to be handled or anything because they did just go to the vet. So maybe just leave them be for a couple days and then check on them and see if they're good. So yeah, it is very important that you take your hamster to the vet. A lot of people don't take their hamsters to the vet, and that's pretty mean. So I hope this video has showed you guys that you should take your hamster to the vet if they need to go to the vet, if they're sick. Or if they're sick or hurt. So I hope this video has helped you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys!